Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Bourbon and Bones. So it's our first episode. Very excited about starting this. Really want to kind of go into a little bit more about myself. My name is Reeve Hutchins. I'm coming from the Lexington, Kentucky area, and I'm currently living out in Phoenix, doing a little research, doing some studying on paleontology. That's my focus in life, but one of my favorite things is bourbon. And on this channel, I like to explore bourbon from Kentucky and all over the country. I also get into some rye as well and just explore how they change and how every iteration is always going to be a little different. I'm really excited about this opportunity, and I really hope you like and subscribe with me, and comment and tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you want to know about, what you want to try. Everything you see behind you is real. It's my collection, and I'm pretty proud of it. And it's always growing, and I'm always getting yelled at for buying too much bourbon. But I'm doing it for you. It's the research, really, is what I'm doing it for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dig into some bourbon tonight. So we're gonna start off with one of my favorites, and very readily available. It's Evan Williams Single Barrel. So a single barrel is just as it sounds. A company actually will take a barrel, roll it out, filter it, add a little bit of water to it, and every bottle is going to be a little bit different from the one before it and the one after it. And it's always pretty exciting to be able to explore that. And so that's a single barrel. Evan Williams you see often. You see the black label everywhere. Occasionally you'll see the white label, which is the bottle and bond. I've got a bottle of it down there somewhere. But you see the single barrel all the time. It sits on the shelves at Kroger, at Safeway, at Fry's. It's everywhere. It's in every liquor store. You'll always find it. And a lot of times people will go, well, is it really worth it? It's under 30 bucks. It's a single barrel. How good can it really be? And the answer is, it's a fantastic bourbon, and probably one of the most highly rated bourbons on the shelf that you're looking at. And it's rather astonishing that people don't know more about it. It's a little bit of a sleeper there, and it's really exciting. So a little bit of history about Evan Williams. It's owned by Heaven Hill in Kentucky. It's all out of Bardstown. And the Evan Williams, the namesake of this bourbon, was actually an immigrant, a Welsh immigrant, and he came to Kentucky, started brewing hooch and making some money, and started using local grains, and really started to develop what bourbon would then become. So you'll have things like, we'll talk about how barrels are charred and how they're aged, and we'll get into that as we go throughout, but I don't want to give all the information at once. I want you to come back and visit. And so let's go ahead and get into some tastings. This bottle was barreled in January of 2012, and it was bottled in December of 2019. So it's a 7-year-old. And so I'm going to do it two different ways first. I'm going to do the first one neat. Some people swear by this. It's not my preferred method, but I think it's always really good to explore a bottle and just kind of say, all right, what does it taste like? What do you smell? And then I'll give myself a little bit of a break. I'll jump in, and I'll do it with a little bit of water. And that can kind of show you that there are major differences when you add a little bit of water compared to neat. And sometimes it's a great thing, and sometimes it may not be the best option. So let's start. Really nice color, and these glasses are really, really nice. I mean, I think I picked these up for 20 bucks for a 4-pack, or 30 bucks, and really allows bourbon and most spirits to really breathe. Always start with your mouth open a little bit, get a good sniff. Swirl it around. And right away, I'm getting maple, a little bit of caramel, little leather, maybe, on that? Or maybe a little grassiness. And Evan Williams is a low rye mash bill. So there's a lot more corn than it is rye, and so you get a nice little burst of spice. And it's baking spices. It's cinnamony and really nice caramels and butterscotch. Even maybe a little bit of orange. It's kind of neat, and it finishes with almost a saltiness to it. So it has a little bit of saltiness. Now, it's a really nice bourbon, very complex. It's a lot of fun to sit back and just dig through a nice glass of this. I don't think you'd be disappointed ever in a bottle of it. So all right, we're gonna take a quick pause. I'm gonna give myself about 10 minutes to kind of let my palate reset, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back. It's been about 10 minutes, at least in my time. And so I've had the opportunity to reset my palate, sip a little water, and just kind of let that first tasting kind of just drift away. So again, like I said before, we're gonna do the second tasting with a little bit of water. I really like bourbon with a little bit of water. I think it's, my general recipe most of the time is 2 ounces of water and an ice cube. And I think it just kind of wakes up bourbon. I think it also sometimes makes it a little bit harder to find the notes initially, and you have to dig into a little bit more, and maybe that's what I like about it. But the biggest thing is, I just want to remind you all, or at least tell you all for the first time, rather, that these are my opinions. Like, this is my palate. My palate says, this is what I'm pulling off. This is what I'm tasting. This is what I'm smelling. Your palate's different, and that's perfectly fine. If you sit there and you're kind of going, I don't smell caramel. I smell butterscotch right away. I smell this. I even get a little bit of lemon zest, or I mean, who knows what you're smelling, and that's fine. Like, that's the point of it. None of us here are professional tasters. I'm certainly not. I just enjoy bourbon, and these are the notes I'm getting. So don't be afraid to say, I think it smells like breakfast cereal, or I think it smells like fruit roll-up, because those are legitimate tasting notes. Because everyone can sit there and kind of go, fruit roll-up, I ate that as a kid. I know exactly what that smells like. That memory is there, and it's completely legitimate to say, this smells like California raisins from when I was 6 years old. And some kind of have raisiny notes to it, and that's perfectly fine. Also, if you notice, every once in a while you might see a little tail running around. That's one of my dogs. I've got 2 dogs and a cat. The little one with the waggly tail, his name is Zuko. He is not allowed to have bourbon, but he likes to be in pictures and thinks he should be the star of all shows. So you'll probably meet them later on. They're great guys. All 3 of them are wonderful dogs, and 2 dogs and a cat. So, anyways, let's dig into the bourbon. All right. So again, this one is it's 2 ounces and an ice cube, so a little bit of water in there. You can tell the color's a little different. It's gonna be a little smokier. You can even watch when you put the water in there, it starts to kind of tendril out and shape into a really nice bourbon. So again, these are called tulip glasses, very nice ones. We'll do an entire show on sampling and different glassware, so we'll get some excitement about that. So first of all, like this time I get a little bit more corn, a little bit more like grassy corn, and into caramel still. But the maple's really reduced. It's actually almost like maple sausage maple. So it's not just, it's a little, not the meat portion, but just a little bit of different kind of maple flavor. Mm. Mm. Yeah, the spice is reduced. The water's pulled that back a little bit, but very much intensified. You actually get some vanilla this time. Some really nice vanilla. Great caramels. The same saltiness on the back finish. The maple syrup there is there again, and it's really nice. It's always a lovely flavor in there. But I think you lose a little bit of the leatheriness with a little bit of water. I'm still getting a little bit of that nice orange. Yeah, it's always a lovely, lovely bourbon. I'm always excited about this one. And again, please tell me in the comment section below, hey, I love this, I hate this, this is what I was tasting, this is what I wasn't. I really want to get to know, what are your palates say? What are you excited to hear about? Do you like the background story for Evan Williams? Evan Williams and Elisha Craig both immigrants, Welsh immigrants coming into Kentucky, starting to make bourbon, or making what would become bourbon. The birthplace of 95% of all bourbon, and in our opinion, some of the best. So now, part of the show, we're going to transition a little bit away from bourbon into my other favorite topic, which is paleontology. And I love science. I love to promote science. I love to talk about it. And this episode, our first episode, we're going to jump in with a bone. It was a gift from my girlfriend, a tooth from a Spinosaurus aegypticus. And so I'll put in some closer pictures for the video. And many of y'all might remember Spinosaurus from the third Jurassic Park movie. It's the one with the big long tail and the big snout and the big fin going off of it. A little taller than Rex, but nowhere near as heavy or hefty. And because they were actually, we've since found out they were actually semi-aquatic. They actually wouldn't have fought with the T-Rex because they would have been hanging out kind of alligator-like. Remember, dinosaurs weren't reptiles. They were their own little species, or bird-related. But what's interesting about this fossil is that the tooth itself is conical shaped all the way around, which really gives us an indication that it ate fish, because it wasn't grabbing, ripping, tearing like a meat eater, like a T-Rex would, or a velociraptor would. But this was actually a predator that ate fish and swimming reptiles during that time. You see this nice little line of demarcation there? That actually is the gum line. So the tooth would have sat in there, and the gum would have sat below, and this would have been ready to bite into and rip apart any fish or swimming dinosaur that was unfortunate enough to come by. One of my favorite dinosaurs. I absolutely love them. They're fantastic, very complex, the first full or chunk of skeleton that was ever discovered was out of Germany. But unfortunately, during World War II, the Museum of Berlin was bombed by Allied forces, and all of those were obliterated. They were absolutely vaporized. The only thing that was left was some pictures. The only thing that survived. And it took another 50 years for Spinosaurus fossils to be rediscovered. This one did come out of South America, out of Morocco, and it was a fantastic gift. It was actually from my girlfriend's parents for Christmas a couple of years ago. A lot of the fossils you'll see here, I found myself and dug up, and some were gifts. Some I discovered so long ago, I really don't remember where they all came from. I've been collecting since I was a very young boy. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I really hope you enjoyed my channel. Please like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to see next. And I hope we get to do this again soon. Right, so have a great evening, and thank you all for coming.